If you're a one-income household, the spouse that doesn't work, should they be contributing to retirement? I've got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. If you are in a one-income household, so you're married and yet there is a primary breadwinner and there's the spouse that manages the household, maybe doesn't work at all outside of the house or works very part-time, helping out the kids or something like that. In many situations, we see this a lot with clients that as a couple, as they start having kids, the one spouse starts shifting back from their career and goes part-time or very, very part-time, and they have one primary breadwinner and run the finances off of that. And in that situation, how should the non-working spouse or the one that is working very, very part-time, how do they fund retirement? Do they need to be funding retirement? And what are their options? First thing is perspective. And that is that even though 401ks are just in one person's name, 403b is the same, and then IRAs, the I stands for individual. So those aren't held jointly, it's just in one person's name. So even though a 401k just has one person's name, IRA, just one person's name, it's viewed and should be viewed as the family's assets, right? So husband and wife it should be considered both of theirs, even though it's just in one person's name. So if there is a primary breadwinner, I've got a situation right now, a couple where she has been a physician at a group for a long time, and she's finally decided, I'm going out on my own. And he had a fantastic career, but when they had their first child, he stepped back from his career and stayed home and managed the household and helped take care of their daughter. And that has actually continued, even though their daughter is now into college and so on. He's still primarily staying at home. And as she is out now running her own practice, he's helping to manage some of that and doing the administrative work. And so we've always viewed, even though all the 401ks, or it's been a 403b, and Roth IRAs have primarily been in her name, they're viewed as their retirement accounts, okay? So that's number one. Second thing with perspective is oftentimes savings goals, how much should you be contributing, are communicated and thought of as a percentage of income. And therefore, it sort of cuts right through this tension of, well, I'm not working. Do I need to be saving for retirement? I feel like I'm not pulling my weight financially. No, you are. You've got a different responsibility inside the house and for the family. And maybe there isn't a wages that you're earning, but it's a different contribution. Therefore, when you look at your income, the actual wages, make sure that you're saving the appropriate percentage or amount on that. And it doesn't need to be split up evenly for each spouse. So do you know how much you should be saving per year? Is it 10%? Is it 15%? Is it more than that? And do you know, are you saving that much? You got to work with your CFP, do that 5-factor retirement analysis. And one of those factors is how much do you have saved up and how much should you be saving? And that analysis is going to help you narrow in on, you need to be saving at least 12% for your situation, at least 12% towards retirement. And here's your household income. Here's how you can get to that 12%. And here are the tax shelters that you should be using. So that's the perspective. That's how I treat it. So therefore, if you're feeling any of that tension, saying, I'm not working outside of the home, I need to be saving up for retirement, I would release you of that burden. And if you are the working spouse thinking, well, I feel like my spouse should be contributing something, I will release you of that burden. Work with your CFP, build that 5-factor retirement plan. Now, there's often a big mistake in that you overlook the opportunity for your non-working spouse, for the non-working spouse or the spouse that's working very part-time to actually save for retirement if it would be beneficial for them to do so, if you have the financial resources and the means to make that happen. And what I mean by that is, take for example, you have a spouse, my wife works part-time, and we see this all the time, that the primary breadwinner is focused on saving up a certain percentage or maxing out their 401k, and then the spouse that's working part-time Well, that's more of just pocket change, or that's not thought of as additional dollars that can help towards funding retirement, okay? And so if they're eligible to be funding a 401k or a 403b, that's often overlooked. And I would argue that this is a big mistake or a missed opportunity that we see a lot of families make. If in that situation, and I know not everyone that works part-time is eligible for a 401k or 403b, but if they are, consider contributing at least as much as you need to get a company match, right? That'd be the bare minimum. And I would even go so far as to say, well, if their income is not needed for the day-to-day finances, they're doing, they're working because they love what they do and who they do it for, maybe consider contributing as much of that money as possible towards retirement. If there is a primary breadwinner and you're managing all the family finances off of that income, then consider the part-time working spouse's income as bonus, and maybe have that go fully into retirement, or as much as possible, 90% even. You've got to pay FICA on those on that wage, but then those dollars can both help you on your taxes and help you with that long-term retirement goal. And then the other item that's often overlooked when there's a primary breadwinner and a spouse that's working part-time or not working at all is the ability to fund a spousal IRA, okay? And that's not a special different type of IRA, it's just a spousal IRA contribution. And the contribution limits for an IRA or a Roth IRA are $7,000 for 2024, but it actually is up to 100% of what you earn, or $7,000, whichever is less. And if you're age 50 or older, then it's $8,000. Well, what if one spouse makes $150,000 and the other spouse makes nothing? Well, you can use some of the working spouse's wages, and as long as that working spouse is making more than $14,000, then you can each contribute $7,000 to your IRA or to your Roth IRA. This one's often overlooked and often makes a lot of sense, assuming there's cash flow available and assuming that it makes sense for your retirement goal. So don't overlook the ability to do, the part-time spouse contribute as much to their 401k to get the company match, maybe even contribute as much of their income as you can possibly afford, but also don't forget to max out and fund their IRA or their Roth IRA or their backdoor Roth IRA via a spousal IRA contribution. But the big picture is, do you know how much you need to be saving to be on track for your retirement goals? Do you need to be contributing 15%? Do you need to max out your 401k? Do you need to both max out your Roth but also a spousal Roth IRA? Get that clarity and then find a way to do it. Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.